you looking for a wider flare or just looser feeling hips? Today I have a 5-minute mobility routine for busy beer league goalies. Let's go. Welcome back to Goalie Training Pro TV. This is Maria Mountain. I'm an exercise physiologist. I specialize in off-ice training for goalies, which means I help you win more games with fewer injuries. But today I'm helping you get looser feeling hips so you can move on the ice the way like your brain says, hey, move like this, and your body's like, huh? What? Well, we don't do that. So it'll help you move better, help you stop more pucks, but also help reduce your risk of injury. 5 minutes. Let's go. We're gonna start with a little tissue quality work. So we're gonna do 30 seconds on each side, starting with the hip flexor. You've seen me talk about this before, but basically if you lay your thumb across the front of your hip and lift your leg, you'll feel like a big cable of muscle in there. So it's kind of a non-specific thing, but we're gonna get in there and roll. And you can roll up and down a little bit, and then kind of work your way from the outside to the inside to the outside. Just stay off your bony prominence in the front of your hip. So 30 seconds on each side there. Then we're gonna get on the TFL. So on the outside of your hip, if you kind of roll your leg back and forth, you'll feel a little, almost feels like a golf ball, kind of coming in and out of prominence. That's your greater trochanter. So you'll put your finger on your greater trochanter. You'll come about an inch forward and about an inch up, and you'll feel like there's a little kind of softer spot. There isn't sort of bone underneath that. And we're gonna put the ball there, and then we're just gonna sit on that. And we're not really gonna roll around. You could move around a little bit just to see if you find sort of one of those tender points, but we're not really gonna roll around. So this is our TFL, part of our TFL. We're gonna get on that. We're gonna just hang out for 30 seconds on each side again. So trying to loosen up some of that connective tissue, or over time, help it remodel. Then we're gonna plop onto our tummy, and we're gonna bring our knees together and bend our knees to about 90 degrees. And then we're just gonna pull our feet apart. We're gonna hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring them together again. Pull them apart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to do 6 repetitions like that. So 6 repetitions with a 5-second hold. If lying flat like that, if you feel a little bit of tension in your back when you do that, just put a little towel roll sort of underneath your hips to support your hips. If you're especially tight in your hip flexors, it might kind of pull you into an arch back position. So just put a little towel or a little cushion underneath your hips, and that'll feel fine. So far we've focused on the hips. So we've done some soft tissue release on the hip flexor, we've done some soft tissue release on the TFL, and then we worked you into internal rotation, which is what the movement you need for your butterfly. But for you, do you feel it's your hips, your knees, or your ankles that limit your performance the most? Or where do you feel the most stiff? Maybe it's your low back. Drop a comment below. Let me know what area you specifically feel limits your mobility on the ice the most. So kind of imagine, if you're answering the question, if I could dramatically transform your mobility in one area, what would it be? Let me know. We only have 5 minutes, so we got to keep rolling. But actually, I'll point out one little thing that I have. This is like, I got this at a Dick's Sporting Goods in the States. And it's just like when you go to a football game and you sit on it in the bleachers so your bum doesn't get sore. Because as you get older, then like your bum starts to get sore when you sit on a metal bleacher. But these also make really great little kneeling pads. So again, we're delicate as we age. So we're going to do that. We're going to get into this nice half groin position. It's one of my favorite stretches ever. Let me turn this way so you can really see what I'm up to. So I feel like a medium stretch in my groins just here. And then I'm going to rock back, and I'm going to hold for about 3 seconds. But notice I'm not letting my lower back round as I go back. I'm just gliding my bum straight back. Hold for 3 seconds. I'll come forward. Glide my hips back. Hold for 3 seconds. Come forward. And you'll do 6 of those on this side, and then you'll switch and do 6 on the other side. Then you're gonna flip to your back. We're gonna do another hip internal rotation exercise. We're gonna start with our feet just outside hip width apart, and we're gonna pinch our knees in together. Again, notice I'm keeping a nice neutral back position. I'm not letting myself arch up. I'm gonna hold that position for 10 seconds, and it should be comfortable. Okay, that I didn't really feel any sort of stretch or like restriction. It's not gonna be the same kind of stretch you feel when you stretch your quads, but you'll feel a little muscular resistance. I didn't feel any of that. So I'll just move my feet a little bit wider, and then I'll come back into hip internal rotation. Now I feel a gentle kind of muscular restriction. I couldn't put my finger on it, you know, kind of deep in my hips. I'm gonna hold that for 10 seconds. Didn't feel too much, so I'm gonna move my feet a little further apart. Maybe you will feel like, oh, that's good, and just stay there. We're not trying to force it. We're not trying to use our muscles to force it. We're just trying to find a nice medium stretch. My feet do not have to stay flat on the floor. This is a hip internal rotation stretch, so what our feet do isn't really that important. So don't think that your feet have to stay flat on the floor. Keep your feet on the floor, obviously, but they don't have to stay flat. So I'll hold that for 10 seconds again. Into my medium stretch position, I'm gonna do 5 of those. If I were feeling pain or pinching, and this goes for any stretch, in my hip or it felt uncomfortable, okay, I could try first off, okay, well, what if I bring my feet in a little closer, you know, and take a little bit of the tension off? Does that feel fine now? Okay, well, then this is my proper range of motion. But if I can't really find a position, it doesn't seem, you know, it's just like, nope, every time I get in that position, I feel a pinch. It tells you that you're getting a little bit of an impingement, which isn't, like, you don't have to panic. It doesn't mean you need surgery, but it means don't keep trying to smash into a position that your body's anatomy isn't letting you get into right now. Now, maybe it's a capsular restriction that's causing that impingement, or, you know, your hip bone isn't sort of centered in the joint, and that's what's causing the impingement. A physiotherapist who works with athletes can help sort that out and figure out why you're getting that symptom, and maybe help even just make it go away completely. So if you're getting a block, a pain, a pinch, then that's a signal, hey, I should go find a sport physiotherapist. They don't have to specialize in training goalies. Any sport physiotherapist is seeing quite a bit of hip impingement to help you sort that out and probably make it dramatically better. So there are 5 exercises in 5 minutes that will help you move better on the ice, will help you feel better after you come off the ice, and will reduce your risk of injury. Is this, oh, this is perfect. This is all I need to do, and I'll be as flexible as can be. No, absolutely not. This is like, okay, if it's this or you're not gonna do anything, you know, this is gonna be way better than nothing. So this is a good starting point. And I know you're busy, and I know it's a miracle that you even had time to go on the YouTube and search this, so let's just start with this. If you do this 4 times a week, you're gonna see results. If you do it every day or 6 days a week, you will probably see more results. Over time, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, those results will they won't go away, but you're not going to continue to see added benefits. You'll maintain, which is great, but you're not going to continue seeing added benefits until you sort of move on to more progressive stretches. It's like your workout in the gym. If you do the same workout in the gym for months and months and months, you're not really seeing a lot of improvement. You're kind of staying where you are, but your body isn't really adapting until you give it some sort of novel stimulus that's a progression. Same goes for your flexibility or your mobility training. If you want something that is a little more in depth, a little more geared specifically towards the butterfly, then you can check out the free butterfly challenge. You'll see actually a few of the exercises from here in there. You can download that. It's an app. Search it in your app store, butterfly challenge, or we'll drop the link in the description below. If you want a more pro style mobility program, then you're looking for the program that's called Strategic Mobility for Goalies. It's at strategicmobilityforgoalies.com, and that is a progressive, periodized, standalone mobility program for goalies. So like I said, these are easy enough. You could do them daily if you want to. 4 times a week would be the minimum. It will take you about 5 minutes to do. Do not force your stretches. You cannot force your body to be more mobile. It takes time for your tissue to adapt and remodel. So be patient with it. This is a months-long, years-long journey that you're on. Now is the time I ask you to hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. If you've already subscribed, hit the bell. And you know what? I'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.